Welcome to episode 22 of Pause for Peace. My name is Jule. I pastor Hillwood Presbyterian Church, USA. And we are still celebrating the season of Easter, Eastertide, that goes on for 50 days. And just Monday, April 22nd, 2024, we had an opportunity to gather outside on the front lawn in an area where we have some tables and a bonfire, and we set chairs in the round. And our community partner, Sarah Champion, led us in an experience of awakening all of our senses to the natural world. There are 9 beautiful green acres that are a part of the property, the grounds that Hillwood Presbyterian Church tends. And it is such a delight to gather and to pay close attention, especially in this season of Easter, to nature, to the amazing trees that are a part of the property, to all of the variety of flowers and grasses that gather up to make this green space. We found such interesting little flowers, sticky flowers and fragrant flowers and flowers that we didn't like so much, but little bitty things that are in the midst of the grass. And when we stop, when we slow down, we are able to pay closer attention and to see what is there. I had the most interesting experience, and I was so glad another forest walk person also noticed this, because for a while I thought I might be kind of losing my mind or seeing things that weren't really happening. But when I slowed down with the prompt, the invitation to notice what is in motion as I am in motion, I started to see the grass move. It was so confusing at first. I wondered if there were little bugs, but when I looked very closely, I could tell that other steps had already been in that place, and the grass was just like springing back up slowly, and you could only notice it if you were truly moving at a pace that is much closer to the pace of nature. Sarah, our forest walk with me partner, reminded us that nature lives at a pace that is so much slower than the human body, especially trees and plants. They just slowly unfold. And I was reminded, as was another person in our forest therapy circle, that when we look closely, we can see things like the grass moving because another person has already stepped there. And I took an opportunity to just turn around and walk backwards, carefully, slowly, step by step, focusing on the ground that I had just covered with my feet. And I felt like I was watching one of those slow motion, fast forward movies where it's like, almost looks like it's simulating life rising again. And another person in our circle paid attention to this gorgeous giant oak tree that we have. We have 3 of them out on our front lawn, and he noticed the detail that it must have been that at one point in time, lightning had struck the tree, but the tree found a way to keep growing, and then it looked like a limb had been cut and another limb grew in a whole different direction. And I actually heard this person in the circle say it looked like life was finding a way to rise again. Nature has such amazing gifts to teach us. And in this season of Eastertide, when we've just been through this whole time of Lent and this week in which we closely read and meditate upon those final days of Jesus and this final letting go of even the last breath of his life, only to be surprised on Easter morning with this beautiful gift of risen life. Well, Easter reminds me that the gifts of nature have so much to teach us. And especially in Middle Tennessee, where spring is unfolding all around us, what a great gift to slow down and to pay attention. When I was in college, I was a part of a singing group in college, and we would encourage one another and pray for one another and share songs on campus and beyond. And one of the songs that we used to sing is a song called Wood Hath Hope. And I've learned that it actually was originally a poem by Carl Houselander. And I'm going to share it with you because it just is something that I felt inspired by, and even more so felt in touch with as we had this opportunity to gather and to do a forest therapy walk for Earth Day and to celebrate Earth Day in the round with others who really were seeking to attune to nature and to allow nature to guide us and to heal us and to show us the truths that nature has to give. Well, this original poem, Wood Hath Hope, goes this way. Wood hath hope. When it's cut, it grows green again, and its boughs sprout clean again. Wood hath hope. Root and stock, although old and withered up, and all sunk in earth corrupt, will revive. Leaves return, water pure brings life to them, and the tree lives young again. Wood hath hope. But strange thought, if we could rise again, we human beings, called home to a loving land, we would have hope. We would have hope. Like a tree, we would grow green again, and our boughs sprout clean again. We would have hope. I had hope last night as I was a part of that Earth Day celebration. I'm recording this a little bit earlier in the week. It's being released to you on April 28th. But I had hope as I watched this green grass, this beautiful grass in all of its variety, sort of bowed low from the weight of my own foot and the weight of the footsteps that had gone before me, and almost like crushed into the soil, and yet little by little rising again, each little blade unfolding once again to take its place in this beautiful earth. I had hope that no matter how my heart is crushed, no matter how my spirit feels broken, I too will rise again. I have seen it again and again and again in my own life. I've seen it in the life of so many that I have been on this journey with as a pastor. I see it in communities. I see it in whole churches that are finding new ways to be in this world. I see it in Hillwood Presbyterian Church, USA, in the ways that we are trying new things and how God just keeps on unfolding the way, bringing to us beautiful partners, beautiful people who expand our horizons and give us a whole new worldview. It's a whole way that God continues to work. And so in this pause for peace, I just want to give a little word of encouragement, and then I will guide us in a time of quiet, of stillness, of getting centered, and inviting us to reflect upon what in our own lives may be crushed low, what might need to be pruned, what might be rising, what might be unfolding to new life. I want to give a little bit of encouragement to each one of us, because life can be challenging. It can like change on a dime. We can get a phone call. We can just walk into a room and something entirely dramatic and challenging can come upon us. A loved one might be diagnosed with just a horrible, debilitating disease, perhaps even a life-ending disease. We might have an accident. We might find out that our loved ones have died. I know some of you listening out there have lost children who had so much hope and so much future and so much possibility, and tragically their lives ended, even perhaps by their own actions. We may be those who have lost loved ones to suicide, and we may be experiencing those deepest pains. And to tell you that it's all going to be okay sounds completely heartless. To tell you that wood hath hope and that there is hope for us as well, I hope sounds like a word of encouragement. And in the darkest, most difficult moments of our lives, if we can just take one more breath, if we can hold on one more moment, if we can remember that little blades of grass unfold again, and even leaves that shrivel up and die in the wintry winds, they will come to life again. It doesn't mean that everything is always going to look the same again. When we let go, or when life brings those deep blows to us, it doesn't mean that we're going to be the same ever again. When we lose a loved one, we are never the same ever again. And we can take hope that God will continue to work in our lives, that God continues to work even beyond death. Death is not the end. It's the end of this physical life here, but it is not the end. There is a different road ahead for us, a whole grand new adventure when we pass from this realm to the next. This is a way that we have hope. So whether you are in a time of great celebration, perhaps you are feeling extreme angst in your life right now. Maybe you're going through an ending and you feel entirely crushed inside. Hold on. One more moment. One more day. Hold on one more night and see what God might do. See how something new might unfold in your life tomorrow. See how your perspective might change tomorrow. Look for rays of possibility, just little glimmers, little specks of peace, of joy, of hope that can come through. Hold on, dear beloveds of God. The season of Easter shows us that love reigns. Life is the ending of it all, which is the entirely complete unfolding again and again and again of a new way yet to be. If you have a few moments yet today, I invite you now to join me in this meditative experience so that you can reflect upon what's happening in your life. What might be a sign of resurrection in your life or in the life of loved ones. So let's begin by getting our feet flat on the earth or flat on the ground, wherever you might be. Now I invite you to take a deep breath from your belly. Just allow that air to fill up inside and then release it slowly if you can. The release being a little bit longer than the inhale. And I'll invite you to do that one more time. And one more time. You know, in the most difficult moments of life, if we can just take one breath, maybe it lasts for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, if we can just take one deep breath and slowly release it a little bit more than we have taken in, if we can stay with our breath, just one breath, we may be able to move through that next moment, that next wave of pain that might come, that next bit of grief that might unfold, that next wave of anxiety that might just come up and grip us, if we can just take one more deep breath. So I invite us to take one more deep breath now. And release. If you need help getting yourself centered, then I do invite you to place both of your palms, one on top of the other, right in the center of your chest, this heart space of yours. Some people like to place one on their belly and one on their heart space. That can help feel very grounding as well and very opening as well. So whichever feels most centering to you, because when we are in alignment here through the center of our chest all the way to our belly button down, we can focus on that column of energy that is able to flow in each one of us. And here in this center point of who we are, I'm going to invite us to reflect upon our life right now. Perhaps see what in your life right now feels dead, feels crushed, feels utterly hopeless. I'm not inviting us to dwell too deeply on the pain of it all, but sometimes we need to notice in order to release it. So if there's something going on in your world right now, an ending that you're experiencing, something that has you feeling utterly at loss, just if you could bring that to mind right now. If you're starting to feel flooded emotionally, then it's a good time to take a deep breath. Maybe even wiggle your toes, get your awareness back to your feet. Remember, you're grounded here in this earth. And I invite you to allow love to come and surround that loss, that pain, that angst, that ending, that sorrow. Just allow love to come and circle around it entirely right now. Maybe there's something you know that needs to be pruned out of your life. Maybe there's a cut that you need to make. Maybe there's a way that you need to let go, a way that you need to bring an end to something, a habit that might be going on, a pattern in your own life, a relationship, a job, a way you're wasting too much of your lifeblood, whatever that is, surround it with love right now. Pure love, a love that has no judgment, a love that can transform, a love that is totally embracing and accepting of whatever it is you're experiencing right now. And because sometimes things in life are too challenging for us to hold ourselves, I invite us to allow this love that we have asked to come and surround this difficult ending, this what feels dead in our life. We have asked love to come and surround it, and let's allow love to just hold that. We invite love to be the energy that is undergirding that. And instead of us focusing all of our emotion and mental capacity on that, let's see if we can just let love hold it for, I don't know, the next hour, the next 3 hours, the next 6 hours, maybe even the next 24 hours. See if we can allow love to hold that. Our prayer might just need to be, love, take it, because it's too much. It's too much for me. So you take it. You do what needs to be done with it. I trust you, love. I trust you, pure love, resurrecting power to handle this, which is such a burden for me. Now remembering these beautiful words of this poem, wood hath hope. Wood hath hope when it's cut, it grows green again. Its boughs sprout clean again. Wood hath hope. Remembering this about wood, about the tree, about the power of plants, especially perennial plants, evergreens, trees of all sorts. Remembering this, I invite us to look for the signs of new life, of rising life, of resurrection in our days. Just sort through right now your life and see where there might be any glimmer of unfolding taking place, any bit of newness growing. See what you might notice in the quiet now of these signs of resurrection. Maybe there's just little seeds of possibility. I understand you might want to go back and focus on that which is difficult, or that which is challenging, or that which has died or is ending in your life. I understand it's so easy to get pulled back there, but for a moment, focus on, even if it's an ending, there's going to be a hello. Every goodbye has a hello. It may not be from the same person. There will be another hello. So focus on those unfolding possibilities for just these moments. Notice the tendency in yourself, which is easier for you to focus on. Just notice those tendencies in yourself. If nothing is coming to your heart, if nothing is coming to your mind about anything new that's unfolding, then just take stock in the fact that you are here and that you are pausing for just a few moments of peace in your day and working on getting yourself centered and grounded in the now. Just take stock in that, because that in and of itself is a beautiful new rising. Whether you do this every day or whether you've never done this before, this is an opportunity for the power of love and the power of life to do something new in you when you just stop for a little bit. So at least give yourself credit for that if there's nothing else that you're noticing in your life that's unfolding right now. I find myself, when I focus on the seeds of possibility, when I look for those little signs, those little glimmers of hope, those little unfoldings happening, I find my heart feeling warmed. I find my smile kind of happening, my heart being gladdened, and I hope you're experiencing that same happening as well in yourself right now. I invite us to take another deep breath and slowly to release it. And just another deep breath when you're ready. And slowly to release it. And one more deep breath. And slowly releasing it. As we're moving out of this time of stillness, if there's anything that has come for you, if there's any theme that you have noticed, perhaps as you've taken stock of that which has ended or needed to be pruned, you've really noticed something new today. And just take note of that. Likewise, in your taking stock of what might be new and unfolding and rising in your life, just take note of whatever theme might have come for you, whatever was prominent for you, whatever came most quickly to you. The first kind of image you might have had or awareness that might have come. Take note of that. Have faith and hold on to that. You may literally be wanting to take note in a journal or on your notes and a device, however that might be. But as we are preparing to go forth from these moments of stillness, a little more conscious of how we do at endings, at letting goes, at the things that are most challenging in our days, even the deep pains we've experienced in this life, the losses that we have had, and a little more conscious of the ways that new things grow, even out of the most debilitating and devastating experience. I dare say every one of us, if we hold on long enough, will see something new unfolding. Even if we circle back around to the pain of whatever we might have experienced again and again and again. In my experience, that's what happens with grief and the deepest losses of my life. Every now and again, it comes back to me, and I do my best to just allow it to come, whatever that feeling or experience might be. When I hang on to it, when I block it, when it gets stuck inside of me, that's when I end up having more difficulty. When I let it rise and pass, like a wave might rise and crash and roll back out into the sea, I find that that's when I am able to just carry on and to just know that this moment will not be the end. There will be another moment after this. And so carry on in whatever way nature can guide you into that truth, in whatever you've been able to see in your own life today. I invite you to just carry on looking for those signs of resurrection, taking hope, having faith that there is hope for us as well. Something green will sprout again. A clean cut will grow into the most amazing thing once again. Dear friends, as you come back to awareness, you might even open your eyes if you have not yet. You can wiggle your toes to get your feet back here in this moment of now. Dear friends, it has been wonderful to have this time together today. And I hope that this will be a week of so many signs of unfolding, of new life, so much beauty of spring that you might notice in the world all around you, and so many seeds of possibility that are being planted in you and in your community and in the world all around. Blessings for this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week for Pause for Peace.